friends, welcome to another one of our craft videos. Today we're going to be making a primitive tin can decoration. So we're going to start with a tin can and some Mod Podge and some coffee grounds, and these coffee grounds have not been turned into coffee. They're just some stale grounds that were laying around, and I thought, stale grounds, we want to throw them out, tin can, let's make a primitive decoration. So I did add a little cinnamon and cloves to the coffee grounds so they smell really great right here, right now, but as time goes on, you won't notice it too much, I'm sure. But we're going to start by just putting Mod Podge and coating the entire can. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll bring you back when I am finished. There. My can seems to be coated very well with Mod Podge. So now I'm going to roll it in the coffee grounds. Remember, the coffee grounds have not been brewed. And if you need to, you can pick it up and sprinkle and kind of pat them in. And I'm just going to continue doing that. All right, my can seems to be very well coated. What I'm going to do is just set this aside and let it dry for about an hour. And then we will come back and finish the rest of the craft. One thing that we will do is cover the coffee grounds with another layer of Mod Podge after it's dried, and that will help the coffee grounds stick and not crumble off. But that is our first step. So let us take a little break and come back in a few. So I let my can sit for 2 hours actually. I was busy doing some other things. So let us put a coat of Mod Podge over the coffee grounds that are here. My can is covered with the second layer of Mod Podge over the coffee grounds, and I did knock some off. You can see them on my cardboard, but that's okay. The majority of them stayed on there, and the Mod Podge will just kind of coat them and seal them in. And so what we want to do now is, I have some different things printed on some paper. I just am going with the word love today. I also had faith, hope, and love printed out, but I think I'm just gonna do just regular, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna do love. And since we're doing a primitive jar, I wanted to tear this. I don't want it cut with scissors. So I'm just tearing it with my fingers. There. So I have love and I've torn it. It just, I don't know, I like the look of it better. And yeah, I think that ought to be pretty good. I want to have an aged look on the paper as well. So I put in one of my tea bags some coffee grounds from my husband's coffee. And it will stain the paper kind of brown for me, and it will look aged. You could also take a tea bag, a used wet tea bag, that would also work. Or you could take a brown marker and just kind of brush it on the cotton ball, and then kind of go over the paper with the cotton ball and the brown marker. And so there we go. You can see that kind of looks a little aged now. It's a little more yellowed looking. It'll give the look I want. And because the Mod Podge is still wet, we can just stick this right on here to dry, any old place. I was looking to see if maybe there was a spot that more coffee grounds fell off of than others, but I can't say that I do. And I'm going to put this down kind of low because we're going to put a ribbon on and some of this won't show. So there we go. We put the love, just tapped it on. And I have some more Mod Podge here in my little palette, and I'm going to brush that over the top. Now you do want to be careful. If you pick up the coffee grounds, it will bring the coffee grounds over the paper. And I don't want the coffee grounds on the paper. I just want to adhere the paper to the coffee grounds. I'm also using a fresh palette of Mod Podge because the Mod Podge I had used on the can earlier had coffee grounds in it. However, I had used all of the Mod Podge that I initially took out. So this will just kind of stick the paper down to the can, and do be careful around the edges. Like I said, you don't want to pull up the coffee grounds and bring them into your paper. So there we go. The can has the paper on there. And what I want to do now is take a little bit of torn fabric and make just a ribbon on the top, just kind of how if you decorate primitively, you're familiar with the torn ribbon versus the torn cloth versus the cut cloth to make your ribbons. And so I am just going to snip with the scissors to get it started, and I don't need it to be very wide, so maybe about 1 inch. And then I'm just going to tear it. So you can see I snipped a little bit, and I'm just going to tear the rest. It tears great. Okay. And you would typically wait for the can to dry for this next step, but because of the video, I'm not going to wait any longer. So I'm just going to estimate that maybe about half of this would be enough, and just cut this in half. And I'm going to tie it on to my can. Yeah, I just knotted it on. And if you wanted, you could certainly add some twine, or, you know, you could go with a different color fabric. I went with the red burgundy check kind of color today because I thought it was kind of fitting with the can with love. And a nice thing to maybe add on there, if you wanted to use some twine, you could add a little heart, a tin heart, or even a wooden heart or something like that, since we're going with love. But you don't have to. You don't. They're fine just like they are. Even a tin star would be great. But this is kind of a very simple craft that if you were looking in a store for, you would pay quite a bit of money. The primitive grunge look is pretty popular. You could also do this same effect on some of the pillar candles if you wanted to, like the battery operated ones, and do the ribbon on there. It's quite a popular look in some of the stores, magazines, you know, just the different country primitive type of decor. So I hope you enjoy today's craft, and I look forward to seeing yours. Please share your photos at info@killinglypl.org, and I'll catch you in our next craft. Have a great day.